I accidentally forgot my camera at my apartment. I feel really stupid. I thought it was in my car, but it's not. So I'm using my iPhone 7 to film this. Today we have some stuff lined up. We're going to do some product testing. We have another football game today, so we're going to be testing that product at the actual venue. It's some new shells I've never used before. I'll explain it to you guys. You guys can see what I'm doing, how I'm using it. This is stuff you guys can buy as well. Follow your local laws. Anything I show you, follow your local laws. If you need a permit, please pull a permit. If you need a lead display operator, like a licensed person, just look them up. If I sound a little weird today, it's because my allergies are like ridiculous, because the leaves are starting to turn over. They're starting to turn colors to fall weather because we're in Virginia, so the leaves turn. It's really pretty, but the allergies really suck and they stink. Ugh, man. Might actually get the drone up. I'm also going to do the awesome task of going to the DMV and get my license fixed, because my license is actually cracked all the way down. And apparently you can't get alcohol. At least in Virginia, I know you can't get alcohol if your license is cracked or split or anything. So I'm getting that replaced hopefully today, if the line's not too long. I got a lot to do today, so we'll see. The DMV, it takes like 6 hours to get a 15-minute task done. It's ridiculous. So we are at the shoot site, getting ready to set up. I ended up not going to the DMV because apparently when you have a CDL license, I have a CDL because of transport, hazmat, and explosives and all that stuff. When you have a CDL, you cannot apply for a driver's license online. You have to come to the actual facility, and you have to bring your medical card, you have to bring your DOT paperwork, you have to bring a lot of crap just to get your license. It's not like I'm upgrading my license or anything. I'm strictly just replacing the one that's broken, and they want all this freaking paperwork, and it's really stupid. So luckily I looked that up online before I went to the actual DMV department, so I didn't waste my time sitting there, because they would let me sit there for 4 hours and then say, hey, by the way, you can't do this. So yeah, that's that. Before we start, let me explain the difference between 1.3 G fireworks and 1.4 G fireworks. Basically, it's the powdered weight inside the actual device. So the large 6-inch, 4-inch, all the larger shells are going to be 1.3 G fireworks. So if you're driving down the road and if you see a sticker on the side of a truck and it says 1.3, 1.4, even if it says 1.1, it's the class of explosive that's inside the actual whatever they're transporting. So we actually use both. We use 1.4 and 1.3 G fireworks, but I would say 90%, maybe 80% of what we do is all 1.4 G fireworks. Now, what does that mean for you guys? 1.4 G is actually considered consumer fireworks. You do not need license to purchase. You do not need any kind of ATF background checks. You don't need any of that kind of stuff to purchase. However, most states do not allow these type of fireworks, so you'll need to obtain the proper permits and go through the fire marshal process and all that kind of stuff if you would like to use these at your event. The reason why I've built this business on 1.4 fireworks is because it's so much easier. It's less paperwork. The transportation is a lot easier, because when you get into the 1.3 G fireworks and you're transporting the bigger stuff, it's just a hassle to transport. There's a lot of insurance costs, there's a lot of DOT paperwork, there's the ATF stuff, there's a lot of stuff to worry about. Now, it's not necessarily because I'm lazy and I don't feel like doing that. It's just the profit margins in 1.4 firework displays and 1.3 completely different. Depending on the show, for us right now, 1.4 G fireworks are making us the most money. So that's where I'm really targeting these right here. I'll go into a little bit more detail on what a canister shell is. We're going to wire them up with firework initiators. We'll go over those as well. And like I said before, if you guys live in a state where these kind of fireworks are legal, please consult with your local fire marshal. Even if you don't know if they're illegal or not, please consult with the fire marshal. You can get arrested, you can go to jail, you can get fined a lot of money. please be safe when it comes to fireworks. I'm only showing you these things because it's cool, it's fun, but if I'm going to show you how to do it, you're going to know how to do it right. That way nobody's getting hurt. We don't want any injuries, so be safe. So firework initiators are these guys right here, okay? These are also 1.4 G fireworks. See that right there? That little guy right there? That means it is 1.4, means it is consumer grade. These can be shipped via FedEx or UPS ground. So if you guys want to purchase these, look them up. I'm not going to plug these guys yet. It's our first year working with them, so if you guys are interested, there's the box. Look them up yourself. I'm not going to plug them. They're essentially just like e-matches. That's what makes them consumer grade, is because there's less powder on these actual charges than there would be on a regular e-match. So we don't call them e-matches, we call them firework initiators. That's what they're called. They're legal and they are very, very effective, and I've had 100% success rate with these this year. No joke, they're great. So what is a canister shell? Okay, so if you see here, here's your fuse right here. Now when you get these, they come with a tube, so they're called reloadables. You can insert this in a tube, leave your fuse out, you ignite the fuse burns down here, all the way down, and then it hits this lift cup. What a lift cup does is a little bit of black powder in the bottom, and it shoots off like a cannon, and it propels this shell, this part, up in the air like that. And as you can see, follow the arrows. Do not load these upside down or it will not work. You'll probably blow your face off. Okay, don't blow your face off. This end up. So you load it, light it, and then it goes up. Now up here, from about here up, is the actual shell that breaks up in the air. So this part goes up in the air. There's black powder inside with stars. So when it goes up, this breaks and it sprays stars all over the place. What us professionals like to do, because I don't allow hand lighting in my company, like we do not hand fire. At last resort, maybe hand fire if it's electronic still, but we do not hand fire. So we're gonna turn this shell into an electronic ignition shell, which pretty much looks like this. See that? It has the firework initiator hanging out of it, and then leave the paper on just so you can identify it. Now how do you do that? Okay, so follow this fuse down, kind of rip it out like this. It's in there a little bit. And you're actually going to pull it out. So pull this little fuse out. Okay, there. Now there's the hole where the fuse was. You can trash the fuse, you can keep the fuse for a later project, that's up to you. But then there's a hole right here, okay? Now what you're gonna do, you're gonna take the firework initiator, you're gonna stick it in this hole right here, okay? You remove the fuse and you put this right in that position, just like that. Push it in to where it's flush. You shouldn't have to tape this, but if you want to tape it for extra security, tape it. But if you do tape it, make sure you tape it like this, where the wire is going up the shell. So you still see the arrow, okay? Make sure the wire goes in the right direction with the arrow, because you're going to load it like this. Now we're going to go ahead and wire up all these, get them all ready. We're gonna do probably about 24, 30 shells this show, and then there's the finale cakes and all. About to load these shells that we just wired up. Everything looks good, going well. Certainly does not feel like October in Virginia. Normally around this time the leaves have completely changed colors and it's cool. Not now. It is hot and it's extremely sunny. I'm really worried because it's so dry out here. I don't think they've had rain in, geez, forever. I'm gonna walk over here near these leaves. It is so dry. So the crumbly leaves. As you can see, we're kind of shooting in just a pit of leaves and dried grass. We're gonna continue setting up. and then we're gonna wait for the fire marshal to get here and see what he says. He should be here in like 2 hours. I can put out ground fires. Ground fires are not a big deal, but when you get into trees and trees catch fire, yeah, it's not good. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start loading these things. Come on down here. See, this is our shell. Remember, arrow up. Arrow up. Okay? Don't load them like this. It's not gonna work. Drop it in there like this. Lower down with the wire. Make sure it hits the bottom. There you go. Let's load it. Load the one right next to it. Drop it in there. See? There you go. Now these 2 shells, depending on which mortar rack we grab from the stock, some have holes in the side of this mortar tube. Fish the wire through and tie it in little knots. So basically what we're trying to do is prevent from when the shell goes up in the air and it goes up, it won't pull this wire, because when it pulls this wire, it'll actually pull the module up in the air and then destroy all your other shells. So these don't have a hole, but they do have a screw. So some will have holes, some will have screws on the side. You just take the wire and you kind of lasso it around there, and it keeps it from going anywhere. The same with the other one. See? Just like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the call. I'm not gonna load another shell. We're not gonna load anything else. I think it's too dangerous to do fireworks. I'm gonna let the fire marshal get here and pretty much say the same thing I'm saying. Kind of sucks. Drove all the way out here. Wanted to test some fireworks, and now we can't. Great. Alright guys, I am back in my apartment. Back on the Sony cam. More phone. Yay. So we ended up not shooting any fireworks. I tore down pretty quickly. The fire marshal, as soon as he got out there, the first thing he said was, it's too dry. Obviously, weather plays a big factor in all the shows we do. Tonight, it was just too dry, and it just wasn't going to happen. I really don't want to close out this video quite yet. I want to show you guys how canister shells actually work. I wish I could have showed you the product so you could see how it's going to look and stuff, but I found this diagram here on the internet, and this is pretty much what a canister shell looks like. Basically, this is a time fuse, so when the shell launches, that right there burns, and it's basically what ignites the actual break of the shell. Most are timed to maybe 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds for these smaller shells. Obviously, the larger 6-inch, 8-inch shells are timed for, 5-6 seconds long. Basically, just gives it time to get at the max altitude, and then it breaks. Here's the flash powder or black powder or a mixture of both. And once the time fuse hits it and it ignites, it explodes and then pushes all these little stars out here. Those little guys are stars. That's what you actually see burn. Those are the colors, the shapes, whatever. Those little stars right here. It's wrapped with string and cardboard and everything to make it real strong. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's all I have to really show you guys. Like I said, I wish I could have shown you the actual explosions and a few pretty colors, but too dry. Possibly have a game next weekend, and then championships are going in the works. Hope you guys learned a little bit about fireworks. I taught you guys how to electronically load the canister shell, so take that and use it. It's definitely safer than actually hand lighting the shells. I do not recommend hand lighting the shells. The fuse that comes with, I don't think I said this, but the fuse that comes with the actual shells gives you about 5 to 10 seconds to get away from the shell. It all depends on the wind and all that kind of stuff. So if you do want to use the fuse that comes with it, please be very careful, light it, and run. Pretty much it. That's all I have for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned for more videos. Please like, subscribe, dislike, I don't care. Do something. At least you took an action. I don't really care. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.